Associate Professor, Department of English, Faculty of Science and Humanities, SRM Institute of Technology, Kattankulattur, Chennai. He is a gold medalist in MPhil of Bishop Heber College, Bardhasan University. She has completed her PhD in Bishop Heber College, Bardhasan University in November 2011. She is also a qualified student counselor with a master from Institute of Behavioral and Management Science, Chittoor, Andhra Pradesh. She is expert in phenomenology, existentialism, animal and cultural studies. She is a voracious reader and got special interest in writing fiction. She has participated and presented papers in 17 national and international conferences. In the field of higher education, she has more than 16 years of experience. She is a research supervisor. She is guiding 6 scholars, 3 full-time and 3 part-time scholars. Dr. Shanti Chitra ma'am has published 38 research articles in journals, out of which 12 publications is referred journals. She has won many awards and accolades. Teachers' Day Award in SRM University 2014, Savitri Boy Full Award by Dalit Sahitya Academy for writing for the upliftment of the marginalized community in 2015. Premchand Award for Young Writer by Lucknow University 2016. Finally, I want to share her contribution to the academic fraternity FU, Board of Study member, Bishop Heber College, Tiruchirappalli, Velalar College for Women, Erode, recognized doctoral research supervisor in SRM University, head in charge of Career Development Cell of Faculty of Science and Humanities from 2014 to 2015. I can tell Shanti ma'am dedicated her life for the literary world. Once again, welcome you, ma'am. Kindly take it on.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for all the praise.
Thank you very much,
Thank
ma'am.
you,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Uh, Good morning, and my heartfelt gratitude to the management of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute for providing and creating such a platform in this era that we are all in. My special gratitude to the department for especially for lavishing me with so much praise. My special appreciations to all the organizers who have actually understood the need of the hour. I must say, I uh, I start my presentation now. It's taking a while. Please be aware. Uh, Akshay,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, your screen is not presenting now. It's presenting, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, your voice is not audible. I think you offed your mic.
Am I audible
Yes,
now?
ma'am, you're audible.
And the screen is also is
Yes,
sharing.
ma'am, your screen is sharing, ma'am.
All right. Mathematics of evolution. I will be theorizing COVID-19 moment for us. We all are aware that very different situation. We have faced much earlier, like floods, earthquakes, but this is different. This is new. And to cope with this situation, we have to be more accommodative. So that's the idea that I'm proposing here. Accommodative to what? Accommodate the change itself. And why am I calling this accommodation of change and art is another question that might pop up. Because art is an expression of application of human creative skills and imagination. And I very firmly believe that imagination always takes us or it talks to us about something new, something which is entirely is different. 1 second.
Oh, Sasikala, ma'am, stop presenting your screen. Ma'am, once again, you start presenting your screen.
All right. Okay, 1 second. Is it showing? No.
No, ma'am.
I'm still not able to show this. Why is that so? I have to press only my entire screen, right?
Yes, ma'am. Someone is presenting your screen. I think Sasireka, ma'am.
I'm trying Akshaya. It still is not showing. Okay. Are you able to now?
No, ma'am. Now it's coming.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So shall I continue?
Slide. Yeah, click slide share.
All right.
It's good, ma'am. Now it's correct. Thank you.
All right, fine. Okay. So the idea is, I was about to tell you that there is a very beautiful word in Hindi. It's pare. Pare is something which is the meaning is beyond. I'm not very sure the origin of the word Persian or Urdu. It's a very beautiful word when you deeply dwell upon it. It talks about something which is beyond, and imagination always helps us to go beyond our perceived reality. It is something which is whatever is happening around us is something which is beyond a reality which we have perceived all our life. Now, how are we to cope with it? As I earlier mentioned, through creativity and by recreating and by becoming accommodative, it is possible for us to get out of the situation unscarred. To understand this recreation and accommodation to change better, I would like to start with Derrida's, that is Jacques Derrida's reconstruction. It's one way of, yes.
Ma'am, sorry, ma'am. Again, someone is presenting their screen. So since this problem is coming, your presentation is not available. It's not showing, ma'am.
What do we do now?
Again, you
I'll
do
have to
the
present it.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Is it showing?
Yes, it's
It is, right? Is
yes,
it? Okay, fine. Okay, so Jacques Derrida's deconstruction is a way of understanding how something was created. So we don't have to directly get into destroying something, but it is actually about like how anything is created. It would require breaking something down into smaller parts. Here we can think of situation that we are at and the challenges that we are going to face at. Here, when I say it is especially for the language and literature teachers. What is our situation? And if you have that question in your mind, our situation is that we are all language and literature teachers, and we are mostly are used to a classroom setup. The blended learning method is what we have been using before, where the physical presence of the student and the teacher would be expected, and we are totally comfortable with that. In fact, we are comfortable only with that mode. But now suddenly, owing to this critical situation that we are all thrown at, we expected to know LMS, Learning Management System. Now, LMS is to be used to support learning, and we have all started doing it from it's so sudden, and we not comfortable with this new era that we have stepped inside. So, what are we going to do now? Um, we are expected to deconstruct our beliefs and traditions. So that is one way that we can manage this situation. Is it easy? Is another question. Is it even possible? This is another question. Now, look at what exactly and you can look at everything as a text, as you says. So you have to deconstruct your belief. Now, if we consider everything as a text, we would understand that
ma'am, your voice is not audible. It's breaking.
reading here is understand. Okay, is it now? Is it all right now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so now if you look at everything as a text and by using language as a tool, we can read a text. Reading, what I mean here is by reading the situation and understanding of the situation that understand that everything is structural. This is the earlier system that we were at. The classroom actually was a structure and a system. And how we're going to deconstruct it and how is it going to help us. If we find something which is existing already or was not good enough, then we will have to go for a change. So, like I'll read out the first line. Deconstruction is actually a way of reading any text and thereby exposing the instability of meaning which the text tries to cover up. So from the beginning in history, you would find that we have not come up with anything new, altogether new. We have only been deconstructing it or restructuring it or giving it a new meaning. Have a whole meaning. So that's the idea. Now look at the two cats here. This will help you a little. Now this particular cat is something which gives you a rough image of what a cat is, and here is another cat which gives you a better image. But however you try, neither of them is real. I have tried with my language to produce a better one, but then they are not the real. So similarly, we are all striving to reach a best system, a structure which will at any point will not crumble. So the blended system that we were used to earlier, where the student and the teachers will be physically present, also had its own demerits, but we were only comfortable with it. So when suddenly this new system was given to us, we are not completely ready for it. Now, we can understand that language can become outdated because no matter how limited it is, language can never go out of the system of the work because in spite of its limitedness, like we cannot express everything that is there in our head. We cannot completely convey it to the other. Similarly, the language teacher or the language or the literature teacher cannot completely go outdated. Sometimes back there was lots of talk about LOCF by UGC. They were talking a lot about the optional system that they gave, just one semester for language, and that too in option English or regional language or Hindi. Now, all that made many question, like, why have language itself? Now, the point is, it almost gave us an idea of like, just because, and there were some teachers who actually came up with the idea of we can handle our own, in our own way, the languages. Like if it is English, if it is commerce, the department teachers themselves would teach the language. But the point is, there's something called specialization, and we have to stand for that because just because we are born with the heart, we cannot go talk to a heart surgeon saying that I'll handle my own heart and you don't have to really, like, or we cannot suggest them what to do or what not to. So similarly, the specialization is something which we have to understand, which we cannot compromise at any point. And getting back to this slide, you can look at that the cat is a cat, not what is said of it. Now, what I mean here is no matter how much anybody tries to present something new or extra, we would always find that something is limited about it. We're not wholly are presenting whatever the real concept is. Now, how we're going to apply this deconstruction is the relevance of deconstruction here is we all are, as I told you, in a situation where we have to break the tradition. Deconstruction is a mode of reading that can be useful to point out the undecidabilities of any text, including the literary text. Now, undecidabilities are the moments of a text when it is impossible to crystallize one single meaning precisely because a multitude of meanings emerge in a single time. Departing from this principle must be done in a textual analysis based on deconstruction. To demonstrate, to point out, to show the happening of a system, a structure, you need certain understanding of the defined construct which you shall endeavor to deconstruct. Now, we would have read most of the theories based on, just as a theory. But here we are in a situation where we can actually apply this theory and understand how exactly to evolve or come up with something new. Now, this is a shared situation, just like a shared language. Now, all over the world, people are facing the same. So the system of doing things will be similar if we come up with anything, but it is not going to be like how it was earlier. Say, for instance, if you look at war itself, now we will find that things are changing. We don't even know if we are in the middle of a war. Now, there's something which is very interesting about, like how the future will be. Like everything might change, every structure might change, every system might change. So war might also change. I was reminded of if you look at the animal kingdom, like if you look at the lizard, it has its own DNA mechanism where when once its tail is cut, it will grow automatically. Similarly, you have seahorse. Its mechanism is a little different. If any part of its body is cut, then you will find that the body part can grow based on its decision. Like if it wants to grow it, it will grow it. If it doesn't want to, then it won't grow it. Now, this is something on which people are researching upon. The research is to lead that mechanism, to instill that mechanism into human body. Now, imagine if that happens, what will happen to the face of the war? what kind of a war would we have? Now, this might sound new, but then it is actually is not new. You can find most of our mythologies talk about only this. We have our demons who have got several heads, several hands. When one gets amputated, immediately it grows or it doesn't grow, but then death doesn't really take place like that. So we find that all these new things that we are at already were there in tradition. A slight modification alone is happening. So that kind of an accommodation, if we have in our mind for this new era that we are all entering, it will be much easier. Now, look at this. I mean, like during the Second World War, we found there were many ideas which was dominating, and language and theories were the one which were actually helping everyone to go along with. In 1960s, the second biggest institution in the world, American Army, was fighting an unjust and illegal war in Vietnam against a proxy for the second biggest system, the Soviet Union, which had just come out of the most systematic and frightening abuses of power in human history, a terror that killed millions and sustained the appeal that millions of people saw in another institution, Marxism. Now, that was again, they found there were lots of problems in this. Now, all these, like one after the other, they kept looking for some meaning. So when one theory came to existence, not everyone was happy with it. So some were there for it, some were against it. But basically, everyone was only after the truth of the language, the truth of the world, or some truth that everyone is going after. Now, considering all that, with all those ideas in our mind, let us look at critically at every institution. Let us, for instance, look at a classroom. How are we going to deconstruct a classroom? The deconstruction to workings of a strong tradition, as I told you, by identifying the limitation and by recreating a better model. Earlier, if we were asked to go for online classes, many of us would have cringed at it, like we wouldn't have immediately accepted it. But after all, I mean, there are certain limitations like bandwidth, network issues. But beyond that, there are a number of positive outlooks as well. Like you can be in a place, and then you can interact with the audiences or the students of the entire world also. So this is not something which was earlier happening in our classroom. Now, the other questions that we have is, how are we going to cope with, how are we going to adjust, how to survive, and how to evolve? Another book, literature, which I was reminded of when during this time was Kafka on the Shore. It's written by Haruki Murakami, a Japanese writer. It got translated later in English. These are few lines from Kafka on the Shore. Sometimes fate is like a small sandstorm that keeps changing directions. You change direction, but the sandstorm chases you. You turn again, but the storm adjusts. Over and over, you play this out like some ominous dance with death just before dawn. Why? Because this storm isn't something that blew in from far away, something that has nothing to do with you. This storm is you, something inside of you. So all you can do is give in to it. Step right inside the storm, closing your eyes and plugging up your ears so the sand doesn't get in, and walk through it step by step. There is no sun there, no moon, no direction, no sense of time. Just fine white sand swirling up into the sky like pulverized bones. That's the kind of sandstorm you need to imagine. And you really will have to make it through that violent, metaphysical, symbolic storm. No matter how metaphysical or symbolic it might be, make no mistake about it. It will cut through flesh like 1,000 razor blades. People will bleed there, and you will bleed too, hot red blood. You'll catch that blood in your hands, your own blood and the blood of others. And once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through, how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure, in fact, whether now when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person. Now that's the beauty of the storm, which Murakami talks about. Now the idea is, though as a literature or language teachers, we were far away from technology. We were not used to all these things. But I think we are best at accommodating anything because we have so many ideas brushed in us by all these great writers, and we have read so much. And there are thousands of lives which is there packed in those books are all there in our head now. So we kind of like we can go back in tradition. We can recreate a future. We can actually do anything possible provided we overcome the fear and start facing it. And then another point which I would like to mention is that technology is very, very easy. And another person whom I wanted to talk about right now is Darwin, one of the most influential scientists and intellectuals in our history. He says that in the long history of humankind and animal kind too, those who learn to collaborate and improvise most effectively have prevailed. So someone who is able to collaborate and was able to improvise. Now, he's not saying that one who's able to create something new. He's only asking us to improvise effectively, have alone have prevailed. Now, he had to wait for 20 years before announcing the world his discovery about whatever he has found out. And his theory of evolution by natural selection. What is natural selection? Is the process whereby organisms better adapted to their environment tend to survive and produce more offsprings, whereas other less favorable traits tend to become eliminated. In the sense, if you're able to accommodate to a new environment, if you're able to adapt yourself to a new environment, you are able to survive better. You will be able to produce your more offsprings. So that is the survival that they are talking about, whereas others who are not able to, they simply get eliminated. So now this is the, you can even call him the god of all theories. He came up with this idea of like how exactly all the species have survived all these long. So we as a language or literature teacher, the species of ours, how is it going to survive? This is the only simple method, just accommodate to the change. Now, this is another, I mean, he spoke about the same. He said, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. So in yesterday's presentation, ma'am was talking about that end is near. I would want to see that end that she was talking about must be the old tradition that we were used to. Maybe that is over, but nothing else is over. We will survive anyways because we are going to adapt to the change. And this was, some of my friends are there in the meeting now. They might be, particularly Sophia. She might remember that Who Moved My Cheese was something which we read in 1998. It got released only then. She got the book and then we were all reading it. It's just a parable. I want you all to read this. It's for, this is a parable which was written for the management, I mean, it's a kind of a business fable. Allegorically, there'll be 4 rats, and they one is disturbed by the change which happens, and 2 of them stay without moving away, whereas one tries to. So this is all about it. They live in a maze, actually. Now, why maze? Not a house, not an ordinary zone, but it's a maze. So that is the representation of one's environment. We are all in a maze constantly. So we are all looking for an out from that, but maybe it's possible or maybe it's not. However, we have to just understand the situation. And they look for cheese. Now, cheese is a representative of happiness and success, like how we all look for it. Now, when they find their cheese moved away, just like us, they get angry, they get annoyed at the unfairness of the situation. We blame the government, we blame people, we blame someone who's responsible for the whole situation. But 2 of them go in search of the cheese, whereas I mean, like they want to see, like if this has gone somewhere, it must be somewhere, so they go in search of it. And the one of it resigns and stays disappointed. And there is one him. He's comforted by his old routine. He prefers, like how some of us are still are waiting for the traditional method to return. Basically, they were frightened about the unknown. So what is it going to be? How is it going to be? How difficult it is going to be? Will my ignorance get revealed through this method? Will I, in spite of all the knowledge I have, will I look like an idiot in front of a camera, in front of an online class? So how am I going to cope? Now, all these were the fears that one had of when, but the point that Who Moved My Cheese made was, when you move beyond your fear, you feel free. Now that's one idea which is constantly is repeated here, and that way this is very beautiful. That this is another book that we all will have to read at least once in our life, so that we really get adapted to change and we don't stick to be in a place. And this is like again another idea which will be there in our mind, like to be or not to be. Am I going to continue as a teacher or no? As like, how am I going to handle a literature class or a language class through online? Do I need special training or course? So so it's almost like, what is my position? Is it like, if I do not proceed, will I perish? Actually speaking, if we do not proceed, we will perish, because we do not know how long this lockdown or this situation is going to continue. However, in the future also, it is better that we get accommodated to this new method. And and one more thing is, like in history, you will find that as many, there are people who have invented new ideas, so many were people who had actually had tried to kill everything. So there are several anthropological answers. If you look into history, you'll find like how people have survived. So one thing which we have to consider during this era is, please do not get carried away by media. We will find lots of negativities in it, and that itself is depressing. It's better that we don't get into that. Instead, like when there was bomb shelling, like in Hiroshima, there were rumors that nothing would grow in Hiroshima for 75 years, and but we see that Japan, in spite of all that, have survived it. They have emerged out. And we also have something called Black Death in our history, and people have survived that as well. By the time the plague wound down the later part of the century, the world had utterly changed. Now, there are positive sides for any negative situation. Similarly, it was so for Reformation took place, Industrial Revolution, and many things beyond, which was beyond their imagination, started taking place. Now, how are we going to cope with this virus that we are facing now? Is it going to change our life dramatically? How are we going to work? How are we going to socialize in future? Now, having all this in mind, there was one idea which I wanted to talk about. One of the most difficult movies in our time, a very complicated movie of our time by Christopher Nolan, was Interstellar. But there is one particular scene which was very complicated, not easy to understand. At the same time, it's very interesting, because in the past, the child would find something trying to communicate through the racks of the library. Now, what is it trying to communicate to the child? The child doesn't know. And in the future, we get to know that there was a two-dimensional space of library created by some five-dimensional descendant of ours, created for us. And we would find that it was the father who was present beside the child in the past is the very father who from future is trying to communicate to her. And it was himself communicating to his child from future, even when he was still there beside this daughter. Now that is the most complicated scene ever, the most complicated philosophy, but there's a truth which we have to look in it. That is, our future is planned ahead of us. Now that future is something which is going to save us. Let us have trust in that. everything is created for us even before we can reach that place. We only reach there with the fear for no reason. Like we don't even have to have that fear. That's the idea. Now, what is it which is created for us even before we have reached this situation is the communication tools that we have. Currently, all the communicative tools that we require now as teachers have all been prepared for us even before we had reached here. So there is no question of perishing for us at all. So that's the idea I'm talking about. And another point is how we're going to change the classroom. Now the future is to be is built for us even before we imagine we will have to reach there. So that's the idea which I told you about. Now the communication tools for remote teams, combine the tradition along with the modern methods is one way of reconstructing your classroom. We all have all the ideas, all the contents, all the knowledge already in our head. The only thing that we have to do is share it across via online. Now, how exactly to do that, I'll touch upon. We can see that more than 400% increases there in learning management skills in the past few months. Now we have to understand that since 2011, New Zealand has been using LMS in schools to support teaching and learning. And New Zealand is considered one of the best in providing education. Now they have been practicing it for long. So we cannot entirely say that this has any demerits. Like you can find there are, so we can actually make the best of our classroom if we get into this mode. Now, I'm going to touch upon, I'm going to tell you about few softwares. If you start with that, it will become easier for you. There is a software called Scratch JR, which, and another important point, when you look at a software, you don't have to fear. Because for every software, there is a demo video available in YouTube. At any time, you can go look at it and then learn it in no time. It's a child's play. Now, this is something which will lead you to how exactly to code. The basics of coding you will understand here. Like you can, you have lots of characters there, or you can import your own characters also. Have them have dialogues, written dialogues or recorded dialogues, everything is possible. And then you can create short videos which can be helpful for children. Now this is for you to start with. And there is this OBS Studio which is available. OBS Studio is an open broadcaster software. You will find free open source across. It's a platform from where you can record videos and live streaming is possible there. And then this is Filmora. Filmora is again like if you shoot any clippings, you can include that, and then if you'll import it in Filmora, you can make it move, you can add dialogues, you can add voices to it. So you can create your own educational videos in Filmora. And Mini Tool Movie Maker is the simplest and the most easiest one. I'll show you. This is now I'm going to play this. Let's see if you're able to see it. Now this is something which was I'm drawing in one hand and I'm shooting it with my mobile phone in another hand. And this takes around 2 minutes for it to get over. Just quickly moving it. You can hear the background noise here when I was doing this. Okay, it almost takes 2 minutes for me to complete this. Okay, so this was the video which was shot with the mobile camera, and it took almost 2 minutes for me to complete this. And this is the direct output after putting it in Mini Tool Movie Maker. You will find that I have added music to it. Also, we'll find that it is almost the 2 minute video is shortened to 30 seconds. And this is an example for you to make a video of your own. Like we can make somebody act for a poem. You can make them. It can be a mono act, or it can be just a photograph and then give music or voice behind it. Examples I'll show you later. There's another, now how exact are you going to, what are you going to do about this passive viewer, passive learners? Because even in classroom, you'll find some students sleeping. So when they're staying at home, it is very much as possible for them to do. So here we have something called Vizia.co. From Vizia, you can engage viewers by integrating quiz polls and CTAs into videos. You can take your videos to the next level by adding by using Vizia. You can add interaction to your videos through Vizia. Vizia is a video tool built by Teachable that makes videos interactive, integrate polls, quizzes, and questions to increase engagement. And it will collect through email addresses. Vizia works by creating interactive moments in your videos where your viewers can engage directly with the content. All you need is Google account. If you will add quiz questions to your video, then after polling, you can download the CSV file. And CSV needs your valuation. So you'll find now Vizia won't evaluate on its own. We have to do it. The file will have the details of the participant along with his or her answers in Excel sheet. So only you will have to value the answers. So this is, now how does Vizia.co work? Do I need a degree to know what Vizia is? No. All that you have to do is just go to that website. You will find a demo video there, which will be very short, very easy, and you can in no time learn that. Another medium is TED-Ed. You have ample videos there, which will teach you how, there are lessons there. You can create your own lessons. If you upload it, you can reach out to the students of the world. And then all that we need is a good internet. And another very, very interesting idea that we have is online screen recorders. You can shoot your own PowerPoint screen, you can record it, you can talk, and then you can have that. And then you also have video editors and compressors. Now everything is very easy. All that you have to do is just go to that software, look for the demo video. Now we have certain challenges here, like digital literacy. Digital literacy is nothing but no understanding of LMS. If you are able to understand what exactly is learning management skill, which again is nothing but like if you are able to shoot, if you are able to record, if you are able to create a PowerPoint, and if you are able to adjust with volume, and if you like all these. So you have to know the minimum knowledge of like how exactly to go online. So that is all about digital literacy. And then the technical concerns are there, which we have to work on, which sometimes is not in our hands, sometimes is there. And another very important is time management. If I prepare an hour's session, I have to finish it in hour's session, because sometimes like you will find there are, you might have some relatives who will be doing their work from home. You will find that they won't have any idea of what is happening outside. But we have to remember there's a life and responsibilities outside. So this time management is important. And sometimes lack of physical setting of students, fellow instructors will give us no motivation, but which is something which we have to work on, and everything is internal. Somebody cannot be motivating us all the time from outside. Now, this was one interesting picture which actually talks about a revolution. So this is the last phase where we are at. Digital literacy, as I've spoken already about, and there are 4 principles of digital literacy. We have to understand how to make a simple, comprehensive idea so that it easily is conveyed through. And check whatever you create becomes a supplement to another. It has to have this interdependence. There are already enough materials available about everything in the internet. So whatever you create should become not the it should not be the same, but it has to supplement. Another social factors, we need to know what we are creating and whom we are sharing it with. So we have to have that concern in our mind. And the last is curation. The way you preserve your favorite content, like in Pinterest, you can save, make it accessible for all at the same time. And in a nutshell, digital literacy is nothing but the ability to find, evaluate, utilize, share, and create content using information technologies and internet. Now, what do we do? What do we evaluate? That's another question. We evaluate ethics, communication, and thoughts. The next big question is our literature still relevant? Or am I going to make it relevant in my class? Now, the point is we have to start finding new meaning to our old texts. Like, for example, how is Shakespeare and Julius Caesar are relevant in my classroom today in COVID-19? We can talk a lot about like communication, how this man was able to convince people who were hostile. What kind of words did he choose? What kind of a method? Like, how did he emote pathos in people? These are all the ideas which is not going to get extincted at all. We're still the same people. Only is the medium via which we'll be sending across our thoughts alone has changed, nothing else. So the creativity and adaptability will help us to continue to survive. And now when we prepare a digital material, we will have to have a script. We have to remember the intended audience. And then I told you mini tool video maker can help us, screen recorder can help us, video recorder are there. Now have a look at this. This is so that was by Maya Krishna Rao. She's an eminent theatre person. All that she had done was used some PowerPoint and she had added voice to it. She has done some modulation of her voice and she was able to create that. Similarly, we can create for poems, for texts, for essays, for play, and even for stories. So that was one example. And look at her another video. So that was again my we can find that a single person as a mono act, she is able to create a play there. The lots of ideas. These were just few which I told, which we can create. Like if things continue, even if they don't continue, this medium is something which makes us very comfortable. We can reach out to the entire world this way. So if we have a little bit of creativity, I think we can do this, and then with all the tools that we have, the softwares that we have, we can make content out of it and then publish it online. Now, pandemics or any issues, when we find like we are all not alone, we are all there with many along with us. There was Black Death, we have survived, and we this COVID-19 also, we will survive. And the truth of the world, as Derrida says, or Darwin says, or any writer talks about, is all that the world has to go on and we will continue with them. Now, this is one scene from Titanic where everyone was making memes about it a lot, particularly for the online classes. But I find this is a very beautiful scene again in that movie. We are in an era, not just in COVID-19, we are also in an era where we make fun of everything that is serious. But look at the scene, you will find just few minutes. I hope my bandwidth allows it. All right, so that was a beautiful scene, because I feel that we as teachers are like those musicians who at any point till the end, or whether there's going to be an end or no, we continue imparting whatever is there in our mind, and we have to happily do it because we don't know to do anything else. And this Amarukami says, but one thing is certain: when you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what the storms is all about. So that's the truth. The point is, we are all changed now. We are going to change even more. But we have lots of great thinkers who have lived all these era, are all there in our head. We have read a lot. We know a lot. So we're not going to perish just like that. And this is one beautiful line again. In Karan Pani Seidu Kidappade. So that's what we have to go on with. We don't have to think negatively about the situation. We will survive it anyways. Let us continue our work. Anevarukkum Nandri. Hello. Yes, ma'am, I think I'm done with that.
Ma'am, your presentation was excellent,
ma'am. Really wonderful presentation, ma'am. Thank you
very much. Now I request the participants to ask questions to the resource persons that she will answer. You can unmute your audio and you can be ready to answer all your questions.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
We are so happy and proud to have you here.
Hello, ma'am. I'm Raja.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, it's a very good presentation, ma'am. Really, it is nice.
Thank you so much, sir.
Ma'am, actually, the session is filled with beautiful ideas, and you started with Jack Taylor deconstruction and reconstruction. I have a question with a rural set of, ma'am. Actually, I'm working in a rural college where if force students to accommodate in all these digital activities, but still there are so many who cannot accommodate in these kind of how could I say, not exactly digital devices, but they are not ready to accept with it, and they feel that it is not highly active and all. The mentality of the student is not ready to accept it, and the drawback is you know that how it is working, and what is your suggestion to change that idea, ma'am?
So as such, I understand that the situation is there. Even I mean, rural students, they come up with the point of that their data is over. They cannot be available for the online classes. So that situation is also there. So basically, if I mean, it's a tall order. I mean, like if we are able to create, if this is going to continue, then we will have to look for a situation where we get free internet and all these devices for free. And once we get all that, educating them via this is at all. In fact, they'll find it more interesting than our classroom. So that is possible, provided if things change or if things continue, they might look into this as well. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ma'am, to add up, ma'am, this is Sugapriya from Velamal Engineering College.
Yes, ma'am.
A really wonderful presentation, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course, earlier we were also struggling to start up with the mobile, but now we could do it. So technology
Yes.
will help us. Of course, you
Yes.
guided us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Really, the softwares that you have given us, it's like an input, a new input. We'll do it.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Any more questions from the participants? Participants, a YouTube version of the recorded version will be shared in YouTube, and we will be sharing the link also with you in mail. Okay, so don't worry about the PPT. It will be shared in YouTube, and the link will be shared with you all. Now, if you have any questions to ask, madam, you can please continue. We can do so for another 10 minutes before we disperse.
Ma'am, I have another question, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Ma'am, while we are talking about this evaluation, ethics and communication and thoughts, you have connected. When we much focus on this digital as well as all these communicative tools or video maker and is it possible to have ethics in it, ma'am? See, whatever we do, whatever we can imply, students receiving something is totally different.
Right.
Can we incorporate moral ideas through this, ma'am? Really, it is a challenging task now.
Sir, sometimes back, like even when this lockdown was initiated, there's somebody who actually spoke to me about like we are all going to go outdated. They said language teaching or literature teaching is something which is going to be outdated. But my answer to them was the very idea of like we have produced great scientists, we have produced great thinkers, but they are the one in a way negligence or by intention. This COVID-19 is something which is produced, I firmly believe, from some laboratory. So, but literature people are the one who actually can tell the world that we are not for it, and so it's not possible that we can go outdated at any point. And there are ways to inculcate it, and the only way that we instill all these ideas in them is by constantly telling them. And no other teacher except the literature or language teacher can do this. Now, moral or ethical values are something which is there in abundance in our literature, and if we keep constantly exposing them to that, changes are possible. And no matter which era we live in, whether we go online or we whatever the cause be, we would definitely be able to communicate this moral element across.
Thank you,
Madam,
ma'am. Thank you,
good
sir.
morning, madam. Good day, madam.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, sir. Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I'm Basudar Shah from West Bengal. Hello,
I
ma'am.
couldn't.
Yes.
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
madam. This is
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please ask, sir. Please ask.
sir. This is P.S. Rao from Chittoor district, madam, Andhra Pradesh. Madam, getting
Yes,
me?
sir. Tell me.
Yeah, madam, and your presentation was exceedingly outstanding. Very congratulate you. But my question is, the kind of environment we are supposed to work in. You know, Chittoor district. I think you had some posts there and also. And students from very rural background and they are not technically savvy. And how better we can make them acquaint with these technical aspects that you have presented in your class today. And yes, we are very much facilitated to these things, but how we can make the students
So this was similar to the question that earlier sir asked. The situation in rural band is almost the same everywhere. They are not used to technology much.
Yes,
but
yes.
my point is that if this continues, then definitely we will have to go online. So the government might come forward to help us out in that. And teaching information technology is not difficult at all, sir. Like it's like all that you need is just go into the get into internet, look at YouTube. You can learn it in no time. And once you learn it, to teach them this, like they can. But providing a bandwidth, providing internet facilities, everything, like if we continue like this, however, it can be provided, and I just hope that government does something into it.
Of course, ma'am. We have some financial constraints also there, and I work in a government institution. And
Hello, ma'am.
okay, please attend the other call, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello,
Good
ma'am.
morning, ma'am.
Yes,
This is
ma'am.
Dr. Tawhida. I'm presently working in Saudi Arabia. Actually, your presentation was very informative and very like enthusiastic. But I have a question, like what it is about teaching. What about examination? Like I conducted all my classes online, and for the examination, when it was the time of examination, there were more chances of cheating and copying. What can we do for that?
Ma'am, we it's interconnected, ma'am. We talk a lot about ethics, moral values, the morality in the student to not to copy and all that. But if we are completely changing, then we will have to inculcate this element in a child right from the beginning. Apart from that, the best of any testing is open book system, ma'am. So open book system is something which will the book itself will be there in the student's hands. But the question will not be something which will be set in such a way that he copies from the book.
Actually,
the setter will have
like
to
make we cannot give them descriptive questions.
Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am.
Hello.
Yes.
Ma'am, good evening. Good
Yes,
evening.
ma'am.
Can you able to hear me, ma'am?
Please ask one by
Hello.
one.
Please. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Dr. Deepa calling from Islamia Women's Vaniambadi, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, it's regarding the sand art you said, no?
Pardon me, ma'am?
Hello, sand art.
Balu Murugesh, sir, please stop presenting.
Ma'am, it's a lot of questions.
That
Hello.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If others are able to mute it. Hello. Ma'am, that was not sand art actually. I was drawing it with a pen in my one hand. Yes. So the idea which I was telling you is like we are all talented in some way or the other, which can be used for
But
creating.
I thought it is a sand art. How come the sand art, the pictures are no? And you have told that the picture, even we can use it as a motion pictures also, no, ma'am, for the teaching.
Yes, we can. You can.
The motion pictures is also could be useful. But this session is
Yes,
very
ma'am.
informative, ma'am, for the technologies latest what we have.
Thank you so
And
much.
hats off to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, any other question?
Anyone else? Please ask your questions one
Hello,
by
ma'am.
one.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Please.
Hello, ma'am.
I can hear you.
Hello,
Sir.
ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
I am Basudev Shah from West Bengal. Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
can I get can I get your mail ID? I have to ask you some questions. Mail ID, ma'am. Mail ID. The presentation was excellent, ma'am. Excellent, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I'll share it in the chat. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I am Basudev Shah from West Bengal, ma'am.
All right, sir.
Hello, my name is Dr. Madhulika.
I have shared my my mail ID in the chat. You can use it.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Dr. Madhulika and I'm from Mumbai. And my
Yes, ma'am.
question is regarding the type of, you were just talking about assessments. So since you said that we could have an open book kind of assessment, that's mostly possible where you have evaluative type of questions. So what do we do with younger classes where you also need to have factual questions and more questions which are very, very text-based?
Ma'am, I mean, I have certain reservations. For example, the very system that we've been following so far, we ask questions from the text. It's more like testing the memory. Instead of that, we start looking for critical analysis or application-oriented questions for them. This is possible. Via online, we can do that. He cannot look for an answer from anywhere, but he'll have to use only his understanding and his intelligence in answering such questions. So that way, like testing their memory.
Sorry?
Yes, ma'am. Hello?
Yeah, you were saying something. I could tell you in between.
Yeah, ma'am. Like if instead of framing questions which talks about his memory, which tests his memory, where we ask questions directly from the text, like if the entire question to check his intelligence and his understanding, then that way it will be easier. So that way he can refer to the book. Not a problem at all. Let him look into the book and then give his own understanding in his presentation. So we will have to look. We will have to create such questions, I guess, in future.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so much,
any
ma'am.
other question? Thank you, ma'am. Any other question?
Balu Mukesh Kumar remove பண்ணிடுமா?
Any other question?
Thank you, ma'am.
Any more questions? Akshaya ma'am?
Yes.
No, ma'am, no.
Akshaya ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm there, ma'am.
Yeah. You can talk to the participants about the feedback assignment link.
Okay, thank you participants for listening the wonderful session, and I thank Dr. Chitra ma'am was goosebump presentation. I think everyone loved it and liked it, and many people are asking the presentation. Yes, we will upload it in the YouTube, and YouTube link will be shared soon with the feedback, or I'll be sending you the separate mail. So please check your mail by the evening. I'll send you the link of the today's program.
Ma'am, can-
Yes.
Ma'am?
Yesterday's program. The feedback assignment will be coming. I'll be uploading shortly. So try to complete it by the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for your wonderful
Thank you,
presentation.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome and informative presentation. So many chats are coming that your presentation is wonderful.
Thank you very
so
much
much,
for your
ma'am.
beautiful presentation, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
It
ma'am.
was really an
Thank you,
awesome
ma'am. Nice
presentation, ma'am.
presentation, ma'am. We'll
Very apt for today's scenario.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
thank you for wonderful presentation, ma'am. We
Thank
learned
you,
a
ma'am.
lot. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think everyone is leaving the meeting. Hope we will join tomorrow at the same time.
Let's
So
meet
the
tomorrow.
tomorrow topic is about the teaching language skills using ICC tools by Sujitra Priyadarshini, a faculty of Anna University. So we will all wait for the next presentation. So thank you everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am. Shall we?
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Akshaya, can I leave now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone
Okay.
want to ask any questions? You can ask. Ma'am is going to lead the session.
I think nobody is there to ask the questions. So I think we can wind up.
I just hope that it didn't go above head. I just hope that I was clear. All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for all the opportunity and
Yeah,
for
ma'am.
organizing so well. My warmest and special thanks to Akshaya for she was day and night against me was logging the entire event. Thank you, Akshaya.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting the invitation from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I
Bye-bye.
thank all the
Thank you, ma'am.
for
Thank you.
patiently
Thank
you
you,
were
ma'am.
listening for the presentations and responding for the presentation. Yes, thank you all the participants.
Yeah,
We hope
yeah,
to
sure.
see tomorrow. Tomorrow sharp 11 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, participants. Let's meet tomorrow again by 11 a.m. Thank you.